Hey guys, what is up? So today for you I have a tag which is the, what's it called? Get to know you tag. So this is a tag in which you can get to know me and my bookish habits and favourites and all things bookish about me. So let's get into it. The first question is, what is your favourite book? My favourite book is The Hogfather by Terry Pratchett and has been for a very long time. This is just perfection in a book. Like, everything I could possibly want in a book is in this book. It's just insanely amazing. So this is a fantasy book. It's one of Terry Pratchett's Discworld novels. It's one of the stories focusing on Death, the character, which is a Grim Reaper dude. And yeah, so it's kind of a Christmassy, well, it's not kind of, it is a Christmassy book. It's focused on the Hogfather, which is the Discworld equivalent of Santa Claus. And there is this amazing assassin in it called Mr. Teatime or Teatame, and he is my all-time favourite book character ever. He is so cool, it hurts. Seriously. So as well as having the amazing Mr. Teatame, it also has Susan, who is on the front cover, who is a badass female, and I love her so much. She's just so cool, and one of my all-time favourite females in any book. She's amazing. And it also has Death in it, who is one of my favourite book characters as well. He is hilarious, and also he's very quotable. Like, he says a lot of things about life that you're just like, wow, that's totally true. Question 2 is, what was my favourite book 5 years ago? So 5 years ago I was maybe, what, 16, 17 years old? Back then it was probably The Book of Lost Things by John Connolly. I don't have it with me, it's at home. That was my favourite book for many years until The Hogfather came along. It's another fantasy book about a boy who well, there's a lot of things going on, but basically he finds a magic portal into a universe that's like very focused on traditional fairy tales and Hans Christian Andersen tales, and it's just so good, and it just stuck with me for my whole life, and it's always going to be in my heart. So question 3 is, what is your favourite duology or trilogy or series? That for me is The Kingkiller Chronicles by Patrick Rothfuss. The first one is Name of the Wind, then The Wise Man's Fear, and then this is like a little 2.5 novella. The third one is not out yet, as many will know. It's so good. It's just, his writing is, I'm jealous of his writing style. It's so beautiful and so intricate and so, I don't know, it's a slow story a lot of people find, but it's such a page turner for me, even though all the books are like 800 pages long. It's so magical. Every single character, I either absolutely love them or despise them, which I love. Like, there's none that I'm just like, I don't really care about them. And this girl, Ari, is my favourite female character from any book ever, and she is just, I'm so glad that Pat Rothfuss made this character because she's just incredible in every single way. So the next question is, what was the last book that I read? That was A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. This book's so good. Like, talking about The Name of the Wind and stuff back then, this is very similar, I find, like the same sort of style, and I really enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as The Kingkiller Chronicles, but maybe when I read the other two, it may even get up there with them. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. It's such a great fantasy book, and I'm so excited to finish the series. Next is, what was the last poetry book that I read? See, this is quite embarrassing because I'm a big poetry person, but it has been a long time since I've read a poetry book. I don't think I've read one since just before uni, which was like 3 years ago. That's insane. I think the last one I read was Bright Star by John Keats. This April I'm gonna read a poetry book because that's not good enough. 3 years ago since I read a poetry book, that's nuts. Question 6 is, which book influenced my life the most? This is related to poetry actually. That would be the selected poems of John Donne, or any poetry book of John Donne. When I first read John Donne in high school, I just completely fell in love with poetry, and John Donne, John Keats, Tennyson, Edgar Allan Poe, all of this sort of stuff, and then as well like Shakespeare and literature and reading in general. Like, I had always liked reading, loved reading, but I didn't do it often. But then when John Keats hit me, it was like my whole personality changed, and I just became so into literature and history and all of this sort of stuff, so and he was the reason that I started actually writing poetry myself, which I never thought I would do, but now it's like a big part of my life. So definitely John Donne was the one who changed my life the most so far. The next is a book that made you ugly cry. This one, The Dog Who Dared to Dream by Sumi Kwan. Oh my god. I think any dog story is gonna make me cry, but when it's heartbreaking like this one, I'm just gonna break down in tears. Like, I literally bawled my eyes out, like full on, was crying for like a good 10 minutes, maybe even more, at the last sentence of this book. It was just, oh man. I really want to reread it as well. It's just, it's so hard hitting and very like makes you think, and it's just, ugh. If you like dogs, you're gonna cry your eyes out reading this, I guarantee it. Then the next is a book that made you laugh. So that for me is any Terry Pratchett book that I've ever read. This one I'm like halfway through at the moment. Reaper Man, Mort, Hogfather, all of those made me laugh out loud. It's so funny, and Terry Pratchett's humour is just, it's my humour. The characters in it, like Death, the Grim Reaper, he is absolutely hilarious. I love Terry Pratchett's writing so much, and his books guaranteed to make me laugh. Every single one I've read has. The next question is, which character would you like to be for the day? So this was hard. Like, there are a lot of characters I'd like to be. I was thinking of Mr. Teatsume because he's my favourite, but then like that would probably require me to like murder people, and I'm not really about that, you know? Then I was thinking like Wylan from Six of Crows. I can be part of the dregs but also have his really cool curly hair, because that would be cool. In the end I went for Richard from Neverwhere. So the reason that I want to be Richard is because I want to be in London Below. It's one of those books where you're just like, it's kind of like Hogwarts, like I want to live there, and even though London Below is like really dangerous and the chances of me being murdered or something are pretty high, I want to go there so badly. I want to live there. And Richard gets to go, but he's also a human from the world right now, so it makes sense that I would, you know, like to be a human who goes to London Below like he is. The next question is a book that is so good you dreamt about it. From what I can think of, I haven't dreamt of a book. I may have done, but I can't remember. But I did dream about Neil Gaiman recently. No joke. We became friends, and we got autographs and we took selfies and we walked around doing friend things, and it was Neil Gaiman, and like I was talking to Neil Gaiman, and like, why isn't that real? Why didn't that happen in real life? I'm just so sad. If I could meet any author, it would probably be Neil Gaiman. So yeah, that was one of the dreams I had relating to a book, but yeah, I've never dreamt of an actual book or a story that I can remember. The next question is a book that I DNF'd, which is did not finish. The one that comes to mind first is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. It's back at home, so I don't have the physical copy. I didn't enjoy it. Like, I know a lot of people love it, but something about it just annoyed me to read it, to be honest. Like, a lot of the things they were saying, I was just like, ugh, God. I didn't even get halfway through it, and I hate not finishing books, so I'm probably gonna go back to it, and I do want to read Fangirl, which is like what Carry On is based on. But like, I'm nervous because I really didn't enjoy Carry On, but I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll read it, we'll see. Then the last question is, which book am I most excited to read? There is a lot. I mean, my like whole TBR shelf is just books I'm really excited to read about. But I picked one, and that is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. This is a book that I've been wanting to read for the longest time, but for some reason I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm so excited for this book, and I think there's a lot of books in this series as well, like 5 or 6 maybe, so I have a lot of catching up to do. But yeah, so excited for this book. So that is all the questions of this tag. I really hope you liked it and that you learned a bit more about me. I'd love to know what you guys think of these questions and how you'd answer them. And I tag anyone who wants to do this as well because these questions are fun and I want to know everyone's like favorite books and stuff. So yeah. I like talking about books with you guys. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!